Man. How y'all doing today? I was just driving along, thinking about something that happened earlier. I had me, my son, my wife, we went out to the mall, and, I'm watching my son play. And it's so interesting. When you look at kids, it's amazing how much you learn. It's fascinating. You're never too old to learn. And one thing that you want to learn is that kids have this innate ability to do some things that put life into better perspective. It was so funny. How we went to the little playground area, and in the mall, and the kids were playing, and child's running around, jumping, diving off things, and he stands there. And one thing that we learn about as adults is modeling or posturing in business and career. And when you look at a kid, the same thing happens. They see somebody doing something bigger and better, and they're like, wow, how did he do that? How does she do that? And so my son, he's only 2 years old, but he's looking at this taller, older girl that climbs up on these little blocks. And then she's like, I'm at the top of the mountain, So she's standing there and she's looking at her mother and father. And then she says, watch. And she jumps. Woof, and she says, accomplishment. So it was fascinating to me. I'm sitting there looking at that, and I'm like, wow. And then my son, he's observing. He just stood there and looked. And as soon as she finished, what do you think he did? He says, I can do that too. So he climbed up on the box. Box obviously bigger than he is. But hey, he doesn't care. He doesn't even know. So he jumps up on the box. He climbs up to the second one. And then he says, he stands up and he does the same thing. I can do it. And then he realized he couldn't. So, my wife went over there and grabbed him before he fell off and broke his neck. But one thing that I did learn from that was this. One thing about children is they don't have inhibitions. They don't know that they can't do it. So why do adults put those inhibitions on themselves in their careers, in their business, or in their personal life? You can do it. Think about that child. When that child wants to do something, he studies it, right? And if somebody else is doing it, what does he do? He models himself after that person and says, what? If they can do it, I can do it. So that's what it's about. In life, you have to think about it. If you want to succeed, how bad do you want to succeed? Well, if you find somebody successful, you don't have to be them. You can't be them. But what you can do is model yourself after them. That's how you move ahead a little faster than the next person. And that's called a slight edge, because there's a little itty bitty things that move you just a little further ahead of somebody else, or a little further closer to your goal. So take that slight edge that you can get. And one of the slight edges is that you can model yourself after somebody successful. And then you might have a better chance at being successful. This is Rashid Hill. Peace. Welcome to the Extraordinary You.